Welcome back, beautiful tri-state area. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Welcome to another inspiring edition of Hydration with Heart, brought to you by Once Upon a Coconut, the all-natural hydration choice that keeps you refreshed and feeling your best. Today, we have an extraordinary duo who exemplify passion, perseverance, and the power of love. Shawnee Kish, a Canadian three-time Juno nominee whose voice has taken the music industry by storm, and her beautiful wife, Jen Kish, an Olympic bronze medalist who has shown the world the fierce spirit of rugby. Recently, these two trailblazers embarked on the beautiful journey of motherhood, welcoming their beautiful baby girl, Harley, into the world. They joined me today to chat motherhood, career, and how they balance it all. Shawnee and Jen Kish, welcome to the show, superstars.
Yay! Thanks for having us.
I'm so excited to feature you both. Shawnee, I'm going to start with you. So, you've had such a powerful impact in the music scene. What was it like transitioning into motherhood, but still balancing your thriving career? And how has your music been influenced by this new chapter?
I just had a writing session in LA, and I was saying it has completely altered the way that I think about myself, my journey, I'm writing differently. I wrote this like love song. I wrote a Christmas song for Harley. I wrote like I'm softer, I find. I want music's all about healing for me, and it has been that, but it's been about getting out traumas and things like that. But recently it's I'm softer, I find. It's gentler and softer and filled with so much love and light and joy. So it's definitely changed my music writing for sure.
Now, I'm going to pivot to you, Jen. From dominating the rugby field to now being a full time mom, what was the biggest shift for you mentally and physically? And have you found any similarities between training for the Olympics and preparing for motherhood?
I gotta be honest, like before Shawnee, I didn't want kids, and I was very athlete mentality and putting my entire being into my sport, So when I retired, I met Shawnee, my life really changed for the better. I went through a depression after I retired, didn't really know who I was outside of sport. So I met Shawnee, and then I was like, man, I would love to have a family with you. And then we had Harley, and it really did change my world because, it just it filled that missing piece that was missing from my heart for since I was young, and it's a piece that I was always searching for, but I didn't know I needed. Shawnee was supposed to carry, and then I ended up carrying instead, and I basically was treating my body as if I was training for the Olympics, but with knowing that I had Harley inside me, I wanted to do everything that I possibly could do to benefit, her coming into this world. And so, it's the commitment, it's the selflessness too. It's, I breastfeed, and it's not something that I like to do. It's not something I ever imagined wanting to do, because I never even imagined being pregnant. But for the betterment of her, you do those things. So you're selfless, and yeah, it's definitely been a journey.
Of
And
course, it's so important. And 92% of athletes say the discipline from their sport helps them in other areas of life. So I bet it's coming in handy during those early morning diaper changes. Now, your marriage is such a beautiful testament to love and partnership. How did your paths cross, and what drew you to each other? Was it love at first sight, or did it take some convincing?
For me, it was like a love at first sight. It was definitely like attraction at first sight. I'll tell you that much. But for on my part, but then when we spoke, even online, like we had kind of met through social media, and and we spoke online. But Jen was this person that was in depth, and I wasn't quite used to that vulnerability. I've kind of throughout my life had built up these walls to kind of guard and protect myself. And the thing that fascinated me about you was how in depth you were. And I just loved the conversations that we had. And the more we got to know each other, the more I realized we have so much in common with how we grew up and how we protect ourselves, and kind of the things that we struggle with and how we help each other with that. And our spirits spoke on this level that was deeper than like a physical connection.
Wow, you guys were so meant to be. You found each other, and you should be so um grateful for that, because not everybody finds their soulmate, and the pieces of the puzzle don't seem to fit for most people that I talk to, but it's very refreshing to see that you guys have found each other. Now, Jen, as an LGBTQ couple in the public eye, I mean, you both have become role models for many. That's without a doubt. But how important is it for you to use your platform to inspire and advocate for the LGBTQ community, especially now as a parent?
Yeah, it's super important. We are very transparent online with our journey with regards to fertility, to our parenting, and there's a lot of hate out there still against, people within our community, especially when you bring a child into the world. There's this societal
Norm.
pressure to have a mom and a dad. And if you don't have one or the other, then the child's going to be like, royally screwed up, which is entirely such a false narrative. And so, for us being so transparent online and standing up for what we believe in, we want to reach the next generation who, is growing into themselves within the community and wanting them to know that you can have a family and
It can look like this.
and it can look like this. And it's really important that they know that.
Your love story is so inspiring, especially for young LGBTQ individuals who may be struggling to find their place in the world. So representation matters, and you both are shining examples of what's possible. Now, Jen, you carried your beautiful baby girl, which is such a special and intimate experience. But maybe, Shawnee, could you share a bit about the decision-making process that led to this choice and how you navigated that conversation, and what were maybe the most important factors for you as a couple?
For me, carrying didn't seem like an option. I had went through the process of figuring out where my body's at and if it was even a possibility, and I had struggled with that fertility journey. And then I remember, I had just released new music, and I remember coming to Jen, and I was originally supposed to carry, and I went to Jen and I just broke down and cried because I didn't know if it was going to be a possibility for me, which meant that maybe our family wouldn't, have a chance, and maybe we wouldn't have this opportunity, and I would have had to accepted that. But Jen just, it was quickly like, well, then I'll do it. Like, I want a family more than anything, and I'll do it. If this is the way that it needs to be done, then let's go and let's do it. So it was just, we kind of came to that naturally, because of that reason, because that I wasn't sure. I was just not sure if it was something that my body was it would come to fruition.
Yeah, I can totally empathize with that. Deciding who would carry, the baby is such a personal and profound decision for any couple, and it really speaks to the trust and understanding between you both. And I love how, Jen, you stepped up to the plate without a doubt. And I imagine this journey has deepened your connection even further, bringing you closer as partners and now as parents. How has having a baby changed the dynamic of your relationship, Jen? Any surprises along the way, or are you both pretty much in sync when it comes to parenting?
It's changed our marriage in the sense of time together, quality time together. We've wanted, a baby for so long, and so she currently sleeps in our room because everything that she does, we're like googling it, and so it's like,
well, she just had her shot, so we were worried about her getting a fever, and so we were like, we need to keep her close to us just in case she gets the fever in the night. We don't know. So,
but like, we try to bring her on dates, and it's just not the same, but we also don't have any support to watch her, so it's like she does go everywhere with us, which means that there's no time together with just her and I. But we constantly communicate. We are aware of the chapter that we're in right now. And we realize that, as time goes on, the dynamic is going to constantly change. And in a marriage, it should constantly change. It should never stay, the same. But and it's caused some struggles too, because we have different views on certain things, but again, the communication about certain situations, we end up coming, it's not her and I against each other, it's her and I against the problem. And so we just maintain this teammate ship, I guess. I don't even know if that's a word, but like,
I like it.
We're best friends and we're lovers, and
I mean, listen, it takes a village to raise a child, but in your case, it takes two super women. Now, since this segment I'm going to shift, is brought to us by Once Upon a Coconut. I have to ask, do you both incorporate coconut water into your routine? I mean, as an athlete, Jen, and as a singer, Shawnee, how do you each use coconut water to stay hydrated and energized during your busy schedules?
Well, I'll be honest, like when we have coconut water, it's coming from an actual coconut, which is amazing.
But it's lots of work.
But what's that?
Lots of work.
Lots of work. Yeah, it's a lots of work. But there's a lot of nutritional value in coconut water. Shawnee is highly on caffeine 90% of the time.
So I need to like combat that with some good old electrolytes because my caffeine intake to keep me running is
hydration is everything. Our bodies need it.
Yeah, you're always get after me for that.
We definitely don't have enough coconut water in our world, but we definitely could. We're working towards that goal because it's really important.
It's so
Hydration is
important.
really important.
Well, Once Upon a Coconut, big shout out to them. We're going to get cases sent your way. And you're right, coconut water is known for its natural electrolytes and hydration benefits, which is perfect for someone on the go. And whether you're on the field or on stage or running after your Harley, you could fit it into your lifestyle. And studies do in fact show nearly 60% of working parents feel burned out by the end of the week. Yet here you both are still thriving. Now, lastly, what's next for both of you? Shawnee, any new music on the horizon? Jen, any plans to return to the sports world in some capacity?
We're always creating chaos. Like wherever we go, the Kish chaos is as we're surrounded by it. We're also caretakers for my mom who lives with us. We have Harley following along with us on our journey. I'm definitely working lots on music. I'm working on a debut album. I have a tour coming up across Canada and hopefully coming into the States very soon, but lots of music stuff. I have so many dreams and goals that I want to continue. My music has brought me so much healing on my journey, and I want to continue sharing that in my creative work. And for Jen, she might be getting into some more sports. I'm like pushing her kind of into it because it's hot.
So what's interesting is that I got a call from somebody and asking me if I wanted to compete at the 2026 gay games. And I was like, the gay games, what is that? Never heard of it, but it's in Spain actually. And it's not even in the sport of rugby because obviously with all my injuries and I've been retired for, since 2018, I can't return to that sport. It's very hard on your body. It's in dragon boat racing, which is really cool. Know nothing about it. And, I'm there. I want to go and I want to compete. I miss the competitive world. I'm very competitive in life. It's sometimes like arguably annoying how competitive I am. But that's kind of what I'm up to is I'm going to start training for the 2026 gay games. And I also manage Shawnee because we work together, which has been also a good transition out of sport. There's a lot of similarities between the music world and the sporting world. So yeah, we're just staying busy with all things.
Wow. Do you have any plans to grow your family?
No. Okay, listen. Shawnee was feeding Harley the other day, and she goes, "Do you want another one?" I was like, "No, I don't."
So we have another donor sample the same as.
No, the thing is, I probably have to carry again, and I got to be honest, like carrying for me was a lot emotionally. It's not something that I don't ever want to do again. To be honest, you give up your body for 9 months, and I felt like that's what I had to do and find another part of me that I didn't know existed in the feminine world, dealing with things within pregnancy. And it was, it was an experience I had a C-section. It was being pregnant was an experience.
I would say you struggled with like depression a little bit.
Yeah, I just kind of lost who I was, and had to find this new version of me. And so I don't want to, if we're going to ever have another kid, it would be through a surrogate, if anything. But
yeah,
I one and done.
Oh, you stopped at perfection. So did I. But every time I speak to another mom, I feel guilty saying that because everyone's like, "Oh, well, you should give her a sibling to grow up." And you're the first person who said, "Absolutely not." So thank you for saying that.
Yeah, when I talk to other females, they're like, "I love being pregnant." And I was like, "Well, that's amazing. I absolutely hated it, and I'm not going to cover that because pregnancy to me is not, the kicks in the belly are great. Shawnee enjoyed them more than I did because she was keeping me up, and I was like, I want to go to sleep, like." But yeah, I always be real with that, just because I know there's a lot of women out there who maybe say that they enjoyed it, but really didn't, but had the fear of judgment, you know?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure. Well, it's been an absolute joy talking to both of you today. I mean, your love, your resilience, and your shared journey into motherhood are truly, truly inspiring. And I can't wait to see what the future holds for your beautiful family. Thank you both for sharing your story with us and for being such incredible role models.
Thanks for having us. This was fun.
That was this edition of Hydration with Heart. Remember, just like Shawnee and Jen, a healthy dose of love and hydration can help you conquer anything life throws your way. Stay refreshed and stay inspired, and we'll see you next week. Check them out on the gram at Shawnee Kish or at Jen_Kish, and you can check out Shawnee's incredible voice directly on her website at shawneekish.com. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. We'll be right back after this.
Together we pray. Amen. I reclaim all that is holy and who came before me. Unashamed, I take back my story and all of its glory. Oh, I reclaim.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Once Upon a Coconut.
Discover the refreshing taste of 100% pure coconut water that actually tastes great. Naturally sweet with no artificial flavors or added sugar. It's packed with electrolytes to keep you hydrated throughout your day. And with 10% of profits going to charity, every sip makes a difference. Pure taste, pure goodness. Experience nature's Gatorade. Visit Once Upon a Coconut or naturesgatorade.com.